Hey there, it's David Krukoff and my son,
Jacob.
and Owen Krukoff, my nephew. My nephew, Jacob's cousin, is behind the camera. Come on up, Owen, real quickly. I don't know if you've watched in the past, but we've been on YouTube before. We've made some predictions, and now we're making some predictions for the 2020 season of the NFL, the COVID-19 edition. We are downtown at 15th and K in the District of Columbia, and we're ready to make our
We're
predictions.
socially distancing.
Well, we're not socially distanced now. In fact, we may even take our masks off. But for now, we want to let you know that we are aware of what's going on, and we came up here, and now we're in this space. We're actually going to take our masks off after this point in time. So with that note, Owen, why don't you go back behind the camera? Jacob, you go socially distant over there.
One thing I also want to mention, this season has been this has been probably the most unpredictable off-season ever.
Correct.
And one thing I will tell you is that, ironically, on a day when the Big Ten just canceled all its fall sports,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate, but ironically, we are doing the show on the same day that got canceled.
Well, we hope that the NFL does not get canceled. We anticipate that it will not be canceled, and we are making these predictions in the event that it is not canceled. We are going forward with our folks, our predictions.
And which is why we're doing it now.
Right, so Jacob, we're gonna let you start. We wanna do this quickly. And you know the most of, I think, in terms of what's going on. Why don't you tell us, Jacob, who are gonna be the NFC division champions in each division, and you can also say who your wild card teams are gonna be.
Got it. And that's what I'm going to do. So another thing I also would mention is that for safety purposes with this show, we are going to have one man behind the camera doing each of our picks.
Okay?
Me and Owen, you're still allowed to say some input though.
Yeah, well, Owen's gonna come up and then we're gonna take two people up here at one time.
Correct.
So Jacob, grab a pen, okay? And tell me who you want in the NFC East as your division winner, and very briefly, why?
First of all, I wish I could say hail to the football team.
Good point.
Because, I prefer Redskins over the football team.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I don't think the football team has, unfortunately, I don't think our hometown Redskins or football team are going to be champions because of an inexperienced roster.
Okay, very good. So who do you think?
I hate to say it, but it's the Cowboys.
Okay, go ahead.
So they'll be the 4 seed at 11-5.
Okay. Very good prediction. Go ahead,
With
continue.
all the talent roster, yes. And wildcard teams?
Well, go ahead. Why don't you go to
I
division
don't think
winners?
there's-
Why don't you go to division winners one at a time, then you go to walk for a second team.
North, that's a harder one to pick. I'm going to, that's a little bit harder.
Mhm.
Packers are good, Bears might get better. Vikings also good. Still, Aaron Rodgers, I'm just gonna say Packers.
Okay.
And that will be 3
Okay.
out of 11-5.
Okay.
South. A lot of interesting things going on with the South this year. Obviously, with Tom Brady going to the Bucs is the big deal.
Yeah.
And they have a much improved roster. Still, I don't think they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to win. I think it's
So who
still
do you
just going to be the
South?
Saints with a lot of talent on their roster.
Saints.
So for the 3rd year in a row,
Yeah.
the Saints will be 13-3.
Okay. Go for it.
And they'll be the 1 seed.
Okay. Okay.
My next division win might come as a surprise to some people,
Yeah.
but it's not the defending NFC champs,
Okay.
because I feel like sometimes the team that loses the Super Bowl has somewhat of a slump.
Okay.
It happened in 2016 with the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Rams last year, they didn't make the playoffs.
Okay. These are good points.
I still think the 49ers are going to make the playoffs. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
But Russell Wilson is MVP.
Okay,
Was like MVP material last year.
yeah,
And so I'm actually going to go here with the Seahawks
okay,
as the 2 seed for 12-4. And this time, when the Seahawks and 49ers take week 17, they're scheduled to play in week 17 again.
okay,
This time Seattle will take it.
okay, 12-4, okay. All right, Owen, why don't you come on up, I'll go behind the camera.
Oh, we're not doing my wild
Oh,
cards.
do your wild cards first, right, I'm sorry, Jacob, make it quick.
All right, so NFC East,
There's 3 wild cards per division this year.
Eagles I think will close, but I think they just fall short of 9-7, so nothing for them.
Okay,
So I'm going to have an interesting one for the North. Haven't you noticed that NFL ties have been happening more frequently the last like 8 years
okay,
with the new overtimes and
Yeah.
overtime being shortened? In fact, the 2 years that we didn't even have a tie in the NFL, the following year we made it up with 2 ties.
so I'm gonna just make a note. More ties. Okay, go on.
It's been average like 1 per year, and the season that we didn't, the 2 seasons we didn't have a tie, the following year there was 2 ties.
Another thing you said was, another thing you said was interesting was Super Bowl loser slump.
Worse than the team that wins it.
Well, I want to say Super Bowl loser slump. In other words, these are 2 points you've made, which I think are valid points and very interesting. But
So-
go ahead.
In other words, I could see there being 1 NFL tie this year, so
What do you think?
I'm going to put the Vikings as our 7 seed
Yeah.
at 9-6-1.
Okay, very good.
What game will they tie? I don't know.
Okay, very good. 9-6-1. Go ahead. What do you got as 6 seed?
I'm going by division.
Okay, go ahead.
As the 5 seed,
Yeah,
I talked about the Bucks,
yeah.
so and that would be the Buccaneers.
Okay, good.
And with the Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski returning,
Yeah,
I know Brady might be a little bit old,
yeah.
but I also think, but Bruce Arians is a good coach too.
Mhm.
And they have Mike Evans at the receiving core. So it's a talentless team. So I'm going to go with the Bucks at 11-5.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, last playoff team would be?
That would be the 49ers.
Okay,
49ers aren't going to have as bad as some other teams,
okay,
but I still think they're going to struggle.
okay,
So they're going to be at 11-5,
okay,
49ers.
okay.
And that's the...
That's your picks for the NFC. Those are fantastic picks, Jacob. Much better job than I could have done. Owen, I'm gonna let you come up. Jacob, why don't you go to the other side? Owen, grab yourself a pen. I'm gonna let you go up the other direction. I'll go over here. Okay.
All right, so my NFC is going to actually look very similar to Jacob's. My division winners are all the same. I might not have them in the same order, but I am going to have Dallas winning the East and getting the 4 seed.
You have a record?
I'm not going to predict records.
Okay.
I haven't thought about it in that much detail yet.
Yeah, okay,
I
that's
do have
fine.
Dallas winning the East. The New York and Washington aren't going anywhere, and I think the Eagles are going to step back just enough, and Dallas is looking good, unfortunately. And I also agree with the Packers in the North and New Orleans in the South. I think those are pretty clear-cut best teams in those 2 divisions. I will give the Saints the #1 seed. And then I also agree with the Seahawks getting the 2 seed as the NFC West.
So this is identical.
That's identical, yes.
Okay.
So I'm intrigued to see your wild card teams.
So yeah, my wild cards are going to be a little different. I also agree the East doesn't get a wild card. It's still an uninspiring division for the past several years. I think that continues.
Also, the Eagles the Eagles had a good wide receiver opt out.
Right, yeah, that's going to be another...
Who was that, Jacob?
Marquise Goodwin.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. That's going to be a factor that comes into play all season in terms of people could get COVID, people could test positive, and that could be just totally unpredictable.
Oh, and why don't you write down opting out? Opting out is another
Right.
point. I think that the Patriots have a lot of opting out, is that correct?
Yes, and that actually is changing my winner for the AFC East.
All right, go ahead, Owen, continue.
So I also have no wild cards in the North. I actually have 2 coming out of the West.
Okay.
So I have the 5 seed will be San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I have and 6 seed is going to be the LA Rams. I think they took a step back last year, but I think they're too talented to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then I'll have Tom Brady and the Bucks just sliding in at number 7.
Interesting.
And that
Okay.
TB could be for Tom Brady or Tampa Bay. Who knows?
Okay.
Meanwhile, I also think the Bucks beat the Cowboys.
All
All right, Jacob, why don't you come around this way? And I will go up this way. Owen, to go on this side. All right, I'll do red. First off, the best division in football is the NFC East,
With
right?
the Washington football team.
Wrong. Mistake.
They were 6 and 10.
I'm gonna just, to be different, I'm gonna say the Eagles will win. And I think they're gonna win like 10 and 6.
It'll probably be 4
I do not agree with you all on the Packers. I'm gonna go a little bit contrarian here. I'm gonna say the Vikings.
Got Kirk Cousins.
I like Kirk Cousins, and by the way, I'm gonna predict that the Bears are become a wild card team.
Bouncing back.
Okay, now I'm also gonna say that Tampa Bay is a wild card team. I also like, I'm gonna say Seattle is a wild card team, and I'm gonna pick the 49ers to win the division here. And as far as, I guess, the Saints, I don't want the Saints, I can't stand the Saints. My good friend Brian Yellen, but I'm gonna have to go with that. New Orleans here. As far as the 1
It's hard to
seed,
see anyone else winning that division.
the 1 seed, I'm gonna go with the number 1 seed as the 49ers, even though Jacob points out the slump. And I will go as the Eagles as the 4, and this will be the 3, and this will be the 2.
So for your wild card teams, what do you have?
And the wild card teams, I'm gonna say, it's immaterial to me. I guess the Bears will be the number 7, the Bucks will be number 6, and Seattle will be number 5. All right, those are my predictions for the NFC. Jacob, actually, Owen, why don't you take over? Why don't you get your green pen again? And why don't you go ahead and do the AFC picks for you?
All right.
Or
That's okay. You can go up there too, Jacob, if you want. Go up there.
actually, I could be with Owen for this one.
Go ahead, Owen. Go ahead, Jacob. Let Owen do the picks in green for the AFC.
All right, you go for AFC.
Yeah, I'll start in the East. The Patriots have lost a lot of pieces, but the rest of the division just still doesn't, entice me very much. I'm still going to take the Patriots to win the AFC East somehow with 9 wins or something like that. And then in the North, it hurts me to say it, but the Ravens are clearly the best team in that division, so I have to go with Baltimore. In the South, I feel like the South shifts up every single year. You never know who the best team is going to be. Based off of last year, I guess I'll go with the Titans. And then in the AFC West, that's probably the easiest division.
I think
in this
that's
league to
clear.
pick.
I think
The
so.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I think they've only gotten better.
Pat Mahomes, best
So-
team in the league, $500 million, part owner of the Royals. He is NFL royalty now.
Yeah, he's got his roots down in Kansas City for a long time.
That's why he's NFL royalty, because he owns the Royals.
Okay, Owen, so could you talk to us about the wild cards in the AFC, please?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the seeds and the division winners first. I got the Chiefs at number 1. I think the Ravens will be number 2. And the Titans number 3.
Yeah.
So then for wild cards, let's see. I'm going to go in the South. I've got Houston claiming a wild card. I think, how about the Las Vegas Raiders in their first season getting a wild
Interesting.
card in the
Ah.
AFC?
They'll
And
get
then I'll bring in the Steelers.
no way they're getting the jackpot.
I think Vegas is number 7. They'll just barely make it in. I'll put Houston at number 5. And the Steelers are number 6, setting up a rivalry matchup. Or no, it's not. No, Baltimore's number 2, so forget about that. But those are my picks in the AFC.
All right, so,
All right, Jake,
Dan,
what
you
do you?
want to come up here?
Sure.
All right, I'll do my picks.
Go ahead. Get your blue pen.
So mine, actually, my division winners are similar to Owen's, but wild cards are different. So initially, I was going to have the Patriots as a 3 seed,
Yeah.
but with the players opting out, maybe things some changes.
Okay.
I still think the Patriots might be 8-8 or 7-9,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the players opting out is a big deal. The
Right.
fact that they have 8. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just intimidated by Belichick.
Okay, so what do you got? What do you got?
So I have the Bills winning it
Okay.
at 9-7
Okay.
and the 4 seed.
Okay. Go for it.
So the North, I also agree with Owen that the Ravens are the best team in the North. Don't think they're going to be 14-2 again.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll demote to 12-4. Still good enough to be the 2 seed.
Okay. Okay.
Titans may seem as like spicy, but I actually agree with Owen with the Titans. I actually think they made a surprise run in the playoffs last year,
Yeah.
and I think they actually can win it. They have a good coach, Mike Vrabel, who somehow beat the Ravens and Patriots in convincing fashion at their places. And they could have beat the Chiefs after they had a 10-point lead.
Okay.
So this Titans team, I mean, there's talks about the Colts, but I don't think the Colts are that good.
Who's the Colts quarterback?
They now have Phillip Rivers,
Okay, go
but
on.
I think Colts are like 7-9. I think the Colts are 7-9, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with Titans as my 3 seed at 10-6.
Okay. Okay.
Lastly, the West. Usually, typically, teams that win the Super Bowl the year don't win the following year. These days,
What do you mean? They do well?
there hasn't been a Super Bowl repeat since the NFC East had a repeat,
Okay.
which was 03 and 04.
Okay.
But teams that win the Super Bowl have less of a slump.
Okay.
I actually think the Chiefs are also the best team in football.
Okay. So, Kansas City.
Pat Mahomes MVP. It's going to be Chiefs 14-2. I
Uh-huh.
think their 2 losses will be the one in Baltimore, and they'll lose one of the games to the Broncos.
Okay. Great picks. All right, I'm gonna pick out Jake.
My wild cards.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Forgetting those. So my wild cards are completely different,
Okay.
except for one.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to go this time in order because I
Okay.
have a surprise for everybody
Okay, go
at
ahead.
the very end. So for my 5 seed, I have some. So for my 5 seed, I'm going with Steelers. I think the Steelers are definitely going to improve. I
Okay.
think they're doing
Why?
right. They have a good coach.
Yeah.
They have Big Ben, who's a gunslinger. I feel like the Steelers, I don't see the Steelers missing the playoffs 3 straight years.
Okay.
So I think the Steelers improve.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe questions with Big Ben, but I think they're 11-5.
Okay.
West. So I have a surprise team here. So
Okay.
I think the Broncos are getting some talent back.
Okay.
And I think, is Drew Lock any good?
Oh yeah, he's a superstar in the making.
Because he went to Mizzou. Well, either way, when he got the starting job, I mean, the Broncos, they started 3-8, finished 7-9. And I always thought they had a good defense, so I think for the first time in 4 years, I think first time since 2015, I think the Broncos return to playoffs.
Okay.
So they'll be 6 at 10-6. And then, the moment we've all been waiting for. So my 7 seed, it's another North team. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think they have the pieces. Congratulations, Browns fans, you're going back to the playoffs.
Browns, okay? Who's the Browns quarterback?
Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
I actually think this could be the year. It does, they had Odell Beckham Jr.
okay,
This actually might be the year.
okay.
So the Browns, they'll be 10-6. And that's my playoff teams for the AFC. So
Okay.
some unpredictability there.
All right. Browns. Okay, very cool. You can go either way, whichever way you want to go. All right, real quickly here. I'm not taking the Patriots. No more Patriots. Okay, they're done. Bills. The Bills. Not the Bears. The Bills. Okay.
Bills.
All right. Now, Baltimore, absolutely, Baltimore. I'm going to say Tennessee as well, so not too much different. KC as well, and I'm going to say KC number 1, Baltimore number 2, Bills number 4, and Tennessee number 3. 3, 1, 2, 4. Make sense?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, now, wild cards. Who else is in, it's not going to be the Jets. It's not going to be the Patriots. Who's the other team in the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Can't see that either.
It's such a weak division.
So, out. Okay, who we got here? It's Pittsburgh. Who else?
Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Let's skip that for now. Who we got here? Houston.
Houston, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville.
I'm going to have to say Houston. Who we got here? Kansas City.
Denver.
Vegas,
Yeah.
Chargers, and Denver.
Wow. I'm going to go. God, it's tough, man. I guess we're going to go to Pittsburgh here, and let's go with Cleveland. Let's do 2. All right, so there you go with the picks.
We've got no wild cards in the East, any of us in either
Any-
conference.
correct.
It's a tough year for football in the East.
All right, so
What are your
there's,
seeds?
yeah, so those are our predictions for the division winners and the wild
What are your
cards.
wild card seeds?
I'm not going to bother with the wild card seeds. I'm not familiar enough with this. I would say Pittsburgh would be last.
If they were
Cleveland,
last, then-
7-6-5. How about that?
All right, that's fine. It's
7-6. Houston would be 5. I think we should also, at this point, pick not the Super Bowl champions, but the 2 Super Bowl teams. How does that sound, guys?
I think that's good.
Okay, I'll start because I'm up here now, and then I'll defer to you. All right, so I'm going to pick as the Super Bowl teams. Vikings.
Wow.
Why not?
How about you circle the teams as you've written them on the boards? We can all do that on
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I take your suggestions, sir.
Wow.
All right, and on down below, the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is a rematch of Super Bowl number
4
4. Okay.
with Hank Stram.
And lastly, guys, since you're going to be putting this out on YouTube, I want to let the viewers know that I am a congressional candidate in the District of Columbia as an independent. Please check out our website, thepurplenewdeal.com, and I think you'll like what our campaign is about. That's enough for that for right now. Go ahead, guys. Who's next?
Oh yeah, I'll be next. Meanwhile, there'll be a website on below the description of the video for you to check it out.
Okay, you guys do that. Go for it, Jacob. What's your picks on Super Bowl champion and, not the champion, but
Super Bowl.
the 2 Super Bowl teams?
You know, I really wouldn't mind having a 3, 4, 5, 6, hell even 7 seed in the Super Bowl because it's been top 2 teams, top 2 seeds the last 7 years.
Okay,
However, I don't think that's going to happen. I've seen the trend, it's usually top teams. So, I'm going to go with Saints and Chiefs.
Okay,
as my Super Bowl.
gotcha.
I don't think, also Bucks are hosting Super Bowl, so that's an automatic out.
All right, Owen, you're up.
All right, I agree with Jacob that the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC. I think they will repeat as the conference champs. It doesn't happen very often, but I think if any Super Bowl team in recent years has the ability to make it all the way back to the Super Bowl, I think it's the Chiefs. And then out of the NFC, I have the Seahawks taking down the Saints in
Great
the conference
pick.
championship to go to the Super Bowl against Kansas City.
Excellent. All right, guys, well, that's going to be our picks for now. We might have some periodic displays of picks during the season. Let's all really hope that we have a season in the first place, that players do not get sick, that people stay healthy, that somehow we enjoy the NFL season in 2020.
And maybe sometime during the season, we'll even get a vaccine.
Yeah, and a vaccine would help too, although I don't think that football players will be a priority. The first priority will be health care workers like doctors and nurses, and then the next group will be the older people like 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds, octogenarians, that kind of thing. So let's hope that those people are protected by a vaccine in our near future. Thanks so much for everybody watching, and have a great fall season.